Welcome back, honorable members. Is it in Katabe? The honorable members here? Oh, the honorable member for Karonga
South.
South. You have the floor, honorable.
Thank you very much, Madam Second Deputy Speaker, for granting the people of Karonga South, through me as their elected representative, the opportunity to contribute to this important national debate. At the same time, I'm standing as the leader of People's Party in this House, and let me let you know that our party has come in full capacity, 100% is here.
Here we are.
Madam Speaker, sir. Hello. Second, Madam Speaker. First and foremost, I would like to sincerely thank His Excellency, the State President of the Republic of Malawi, Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika Mukulukuta Moyo, for delivering a clear, concise, the address outlined a path towards economic recovery, inclusive development for all Malawians. Madam Second Deputy Speaker, Karonga South has tremendous potential to contribute to national economic recovery. Our farmers grow rice and cassava, and with proper support through irrigation, extension services, we can significantly boost production and enhance food security. Lake Malawi provides abundant fish resources, and with government support in training, modern equipment and funding, local fishing communities can generate employment, increase household incomes, and contribute to the national economy. We commend the government efforts to stabilize the economy and the interventions to support local production. Economic recovery must empower rural communities, ensuring that progress is felt not only in urban centers, but also in constituencies like Karonga South. We are grateful for the fertilizer subsidy program, which has benefited many farmers in Karonga South. Moving forward, we respectively request the following. The subsidy came a bit late. The rains had come, farmers had planted, but we had no fertilizer. We expect that we improve it because this time it was not good for the farmers. Transparency in the beneficiation as well has to be improved. Increased investment in irrigation to reduce dependence on land-fed agriculture. Second Deputy Speaker, we commend the President for upgrading the CDF, empowering communities, Karonga South Bridges to ensure strong oversight, transparency and accountability, full utilization of funds for the benefit of all constituents. Karonga continues to face infrastructure challenges. we request fast tracking on the M1 road project. We have noticed that the whole country, starting from Nsanje up to Chitipa, shrubs have encroached the roads. And it's not only the potholes who have suffered, who have lost some lives, because drivers, sometimes they could run away from the pothole and ending up hitting another vehicle. Sometimes they could divert running away from a shrub which is leaning on the road and make accidents as well. So we could want this government to make sure that the laws which has been neglected for the past 5 years plus should be cleared. We want to see those work during the Kamuzu era. Improvement of rural roads should start from all the corners of the constituency, so that lifting patients from we shouldn't have any problem at all. Investment in water transport along Lake Malawi, including the development of Chilumba Jete Port Station, should be done as soon as possible to improve the movement of people from Kalonga to the southern part of Malawi. Tourism, Kalonga South has untapped tourism potential, including heritage sites such as Chilumba Jete Station, which could stimulate local economic growth. On energy, we commend government initiatives to address electricity shortages, but argue further support for rural areas where many schools and households still lack power. Fuel stability is critical for economic productivity, and we applaud government efforts to restore the reliable fuel supply. Let me praise the President for doing a good job. Within few months, Malawi has got fuel. Mining. Kalonga South encourages government to support exploitation of potential mineral deposits. Properly already developed mines which are there, they have to be uplifted. You know, Kalonga South has got so many mines of coal, and 80% of coal which is used in this country comes from Kalonga South constituency. Can we ask the government to explore more mines? We want our youngsters to have work. If they're having work, then they can even help their youngsters. You know, some of the families, they've got no parents. So if the young boys can have work, then we know that they will educate their siblings. At the same time, illegal mining must be addressed to prevent environmental degradation, particularly along rivers and natural resources. Education. We commend government for free secondary education, but request more teachers and resources in Kalonga South to improve academic outcomes. Health facilities also require adequate fuel, additional health centers, and improved access to services for rural communities.
You have a minute to go, Honorable Member. Thank you.
Thank you. At Chilumba Rural Health Center, the center is 70 kilometers away from the main hospital at Karonga. It has got no permanent ambulance. Can we ask the ministry responsible to make sure that this ambulance is there and should have fuel? We welcome government initiatives such as the graduate internship program and 100 million youth loans. Kalonga South argues that these initiatives reach all constituencies equally, empowering youth and women to engage agribusiness, cottage industries, and other economic activities. Climate change. Kalonga South is heavily affected by climate change. We support government plans to implement climate legislation, carbon market, safeguard and restoration initiatives. These measures will be strengthen resilience and protect vulnerable communities. Water, sanitation and hygiene. Since we have district water officers across all over the councils, Madam Deputy Speaker, several studies found out that over 70% of the diseases in all the health facilities were born, hence the proper management of which may directly reduce the health budget. People's Party, therefore, shall support the President and his government anytime he may consider separating water department from agriculture to be standalone ministry. Madam Second Deputy Speaker, I want to commend the President and his administration for challenging the youth and women in the country to rise up and upscale their economic well-being through the respective constituency. Loan are marked in budget for them. The President said...
With those few remarks?
In conclusion, I want to thank the President for his position on fighting corruption and protecting public resources, just like the fourth President, Her Excellency Dr. Joyce Banda, did it in 2013 when she openly condemned plunder of public resources and commanded all law enforcement entities to do their work without interference, and that she never backed anyone regardless of their positions and status. We saw about 71 files being prosecuted. The State President...
Thank you. Honorable Member for Chitipa East. Is it Chitipa East? You have been started. Honorable.
Thank you very much. Let me have a seat.
Honorable Member for Chitipa, is it Chitipa East? Yeah, you have the floor, Honorable.
It's on. Madam Second Deputy Speaker, thank you for granting the people of Chitipa East a voice in this important debate. Madam Speaker, on the 13th of February, this chamber witnessed an energetic and focused address delivered by His Excellency, the President, Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, who delivered a precise and focused roadmap for economic recovery. Madam Speaker, Chitipa East rises today not to merely comment, but to fully support and align with that vision. Madam Speaker, allow me to start with digital transformation. In the State of the Nation address, His Excellency, Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, directed OMDs to embrace digital transformation. As a professional in this field, Madam Speaker, I cannot overstate how significant this directive is for our country. Technology is not just computers and internet. Technology is the engine of efficiency. It is the fuel of modern economies. Madam Speaker, technology, if fully embraced, it will revamp our public systems, reduce delays, cut costs, and seal loopholes that encourage corruption. Madam Speaker, this directive must translate into measurable and practical change. It must mean that a citizen in Chitipa can process a passport and a national ID right in Chitipa without having to travel hundreds of kilometers for such a service. It must mean that civil servants in Misuku must receive their salaries full salaries through digital means and in time. This can be achieved through structured partnerships with mobile networks like TNM and Airtel. Madam Speaker, it must mean that road traffic fines are fully automated and cashless, thereby eliminating physical transactions and improving accountability. Madam Speaker, it must mean modernizing public systems. We need to deal away with the physical health passports. We need to eliminate ghost workers and strengthen financial discipline through these digital systems. Madam Speaker, digital systems increase transparency. They reduce human bottlenecks. They speed up service delivery. They also improve revenue collection for government. Madam Speaker, I therefore would like to call upon the honorable members and relevant MDAs to support the President's vision by investing in infrastructure, building capacity for our civil servants, and providing clear policy direction. Madam Speaker, we cannot compete regionally while operating manually. Turning to agriculture, Madam Speaker, Malawi is fundamentally an agricultural economy, and any measures to strengthen this sector must be taken seriously. On this note, allow me to sincerely thank the President and the DPP government for the timely delivery of affordable fertilizer across most parts of Malawi. In my constituency, Madam Speaker, redemption currently stands at 70%. While this shows encouraging progress, there is still room for improvement. The people of Chitipa East fully appreciate that this government assumed office just weeks before the planting season. Given these circumstances, the efforts made so far have been commendable, and we remain confident that even greater efficiency will be achieved in the coming season. Madam Speaker, I also wish to commend His Excellency Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika for directing the sale of 3.5 million kilograms of tobacco that had been abandoned at the auction floors. Chitipa East was not spared from this situation, Madam Speaker. From that decisive intervention, the country recovered $8.6 million. This was not merely an economic rescue. This was a restoration of dignity for our farmers. Had that tobacco remained unsold, it would have been a national embarrassment and a devastating loss for hardworking farmers. Madam Speaker, sir, sorry, Madam Speaker.
Let me remind the members that we say here, 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 and not clapping hands. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, previous administrations could have opted for a press conference in an attempt to address the tobacco issue. But this was not the case with our president. It only took a simple paper and everything was achieved. On the same note, Madam Speaker, allow me to bring the attention of this House and the government of Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, a precious gem found in my constituency, Misuku coffee. Madam Speaker, the coffee industry in Misuku is slowly dying and urgently requires government's intervention. Farmers face no fixed prices, and the cost of production far exceeds the returns they receive. This imbalance makes it increasingly difficult for them to sustain their livelihoods, leading to rampant smuggling. Madam Speaker, smuggling of commodities like coffee deprives the government of the much-needed foreign exchange. Madam Speaker, if properly structured, supported and exported through legitimate means to markets like Zambia and South Africa, Misuku coffee could generate up to $20 million annually. As a country, we are losing foreign exchange, and our farmers are losing hope. I have no doubt, however, Madam Speaker, that the administration, the government of Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika will revive this golden opportunity for both Chitipa and Malawi at large. Madam Speaker, I wish to speak on 5 billion. Madam Speaker, the people of Chitipa East are deeply grateful for the allocation of 100 million for the youth, 100 million for women, and another 250 million for persons with disabilities. These are not mere figures on the paper. They represent businesses, livelihoods, and hope. Madam Speaker, I bring gratitude from T.A. Mwenemisuku and T.A. Luangwa, who have asked me to thank this government for increasing the Constituency Development Fund to 5 billion. This board decentralization reforms empowers development from the grassroots. It means roads can begin in villages, health centers can rise in rural communities, and schools can be constructed where they need it most. Madam Speaker, true development must start where people live, and this reform makes that possible. Let me briefly touch on fuel. Madam Speaker, I would like to remind Malawians that APM is back, and so is the fuel. Just 3 months ago, we could hardly find a drop in our filling stations. The daily question everywhere was, Kodi fuel alipo? Atits and how is Ange? How long is the queue? Those days are behind us now. And Malawians should never have to endure such hardships again. Madam Speaker, I commend President APM for restoring stability in the fuel supply and giving every Malawian the simple dignity of moving freely, whether to work, to school, or to transport goods to market without running dry. Madam Speaker, this is what competent governance looks like. It's about anticipating challenges, engaging suppliers, restoring confidence in the market, and ensuring systems function as they should. Madam Speaker, fuel availability may seem simple, but it is the foundation of economic momentum. The return of stability in this sector signals something bigger. Malawi is under steady and experienced leadership. Madam Speaker, with these few remarks, I thank you and reaffirm my support for the State of the Nation address. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Chitipa East. I now recognize Honorable Member for Kasungu Central. You have the floor, Honorable.
Deputy Second Speaker, Madam, thank you so much for awarding the people of Kasungu Central, the people of Mawango, John, Suza, to contribute and reflect on the SONA. Madam Deputy Speaker, I stand before this august House not merely as a member of Kasungu Central, but as a believer in the dream of Malawi, where poverty shall be a memory and justice a living stream. We have listened to the State of the Nation Address. It is a document filled with bright colors of hope. And let me be clear, there is much to applaud. When the President reports that 65% of our farmers have already received their life-giving inputs, we see the sun of efficiency. rising over our feuds. When the executive shares its own comfort through austerities, it signals a dawn of shared sacrifice. Madam Deputy Speaker, as we look at the fine print of this address, we must ask, is this a solid foundation we are building our houses upon, or the shifting sands of political convenience? Madam Deputy Speaker, let me comment on the defaulted promissory note of local governance. The President has promised $5 billion in CDF. To a wily traveler, this looks like an oasis. But as the great economist Adam Smith, let me quote him directly, "The real price of everything is the toil and trouble of acquiring it." Currently, our legal framework has created a lonely island for the Member of Parliament. We are the ones who stand here in this house to secure God. Yet, we are barred from the gates where the God is spent. The MP has been relegated to a ghost in a machine of constituency development fund. Madam Speaker, I contend that for $5 billion to transform Kasungu Central and parts of the country, the MP must be a formal active stakeholder in the management circle. We cannot have taxation without representation at a local level. If the MP is to be held accountable by the people, the MP must have a legal seat at the table of implementation. We refuse to believe that the Bank of Justice in our constituencies is bankrupt. They will hold us accountable. You lobbied for a budget. You supported the budget. Where is the bridge, the development you promised us? We hear, Madam Speaker, as we await the guidelines, that an MP will be accommodated in the guidelines. Madam Speaker, the people of Kasungu Central wanted to say that this honorable House, all these honorable members in here, they are not looking for accommodation in the guidelines. They are looking for a legal place and framework where they can do their job. Allow me to comment on the agricultural mileage and the green revolution. As we speak of 10,000 fertilizer, I am reminded of the words of the father of green revolution, Norman Borlaug. You can't build a peaceful world on empty stomachs and unstable economy.
Honorable member, would you please resume your seat? Leader of the House, extension of time to allow the honorable member to finish. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Second Deputy Speaker. I indeed beg to move that time be extended to allow for the member holding the floor to finalize his submission, but also to allow the Honorable Minister of Local Government to say something in regards to the CDF guidelines. I submit, Second Deputy Speaker.
Thank you so much, Honorable Leader. Honorable members, there is a motion on the floor. The motion is that we extend the time to allow the honorable member to finish his speech, as well as to allow the honorable minister responsible for local government to speak on the long-awaited guidelines. Those of the opinion said aye. Those of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The motion has been carried. Honorable member.
Thank you so much for allowing the people of Suza, Gogode, Mankaka, Kapais, and Mangwazo to continue. I was commenting on the agricultural mileage and the green evolution. I was saying, while the 10,000 price point is a cool breeze in a heat wave, we must ensure it does not become a storm of inflation. If we fund subsidies by borrowing money, we are essentially giving the farmer a bag of fertilizer with one hand, whilst stealing the value of the produce with the other hand. We must remember the foundations of this country. We say agriculture is the backbone of our nation. But a backbone must be strong and independent, not a spine that collapses whenever there's foreign exchange winds blowing cold. Madam Deputy Speaker, let me comment on the moral duty of education. The President offers free education in secondary school. It is a bold dream. The people of Kasungu Central like it, love it. But we must heed the warning of Nelson Mandela, who said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world, but only, I repeat, if that weapon is functional. This morning, I got a phone call from my ward councillor, Lingard's ward, reporting that at Lingard's primary school, they don't have chalk. When we are talking about education, that's why you need to listen. When you're talking of education, I would want the Honorable House to consider that when we speak of the future of our children, as Malawians, this House must remember that mwana wanzako ndwako yemwe. If the education we are providing in our public schools is not good enough for our own children in this House, it is not good enough for the children of the poor Malawians. If we remove fees but fail to fund dialect school improvement or grants, we are inviting our children into temples of ignorance. Classrooms without chalk, lab without chemicals, and schools without power. We must not trade quality for quantity. The President is deciding very well and timely. He's made a decision and an executive order in the Ministry of Health. Maybe if this Honorable House believes in the free education we're offering, through you, Madam Speaker, I would humbly request maybe the President to consider also giving a directive that honorable members, ministers, they should send all their children, immediate family members to free primary or secondary schools if we believe in the quality. If we believe that the education we are offering...
Honorable Member, you have 2 minutes to go.
That's more than enough. Thank you so much. If we believe that the education we are offering, the quality we are offering is good enough, let this Honorable House agree that our children go to free secondary schools. Let the President consider having that as a directive order that all ministers send their children to free secondary schools. Because if that's not the case, we cannot believe in a system and an implementation of a project that we, the policy holders, don't even believe in. In conclusion, let me talk about the fierce agent of now. Madam Speaker, we are faced with a fierce agent of now. There is not the time for luxury or cooling off, or take off the tranquility of drug or gradualism. The SONA in 2026 that was given here gives a vision. Now the budget must give us the integrity. Let us empower our councillors, let us formalize the MP's role in the guarding of the funds. Let us feed the farmer, but let us also protect the currency. Let us educate the child, but let us preserve the standard. If we do these things, we will transform this juggling discord of our economy. Madam Deputy Speaker, sir, I thank you for granting the people of Kasungu Central to submit.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member for Kasungu Central. Honorable Leader of the House. Honorable Minister responsible for local government, you have the floor, Honorable.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, and indeed the Leader of the House for the opportunity. I have been asked to say something about guidelines, and I will say the following as we wait for the detailed guidelines, which will be ready after tomorrow. I would like to assure the whole House, through you, that the guidelines have passed a number of stages. As you're well aware, that there was an alignment, realignment or rearrangement of ministries, where Ministry of Finance was added the physical decentralization to it. The rest of the decentralization still remains with my ministry. As a result, there was need, since this is a fund in its money, that the Ministry of Finance look at the guidelines to make sure that it is in line with all necessary legal frameworks. I am pleased to report that my ministry, as a policy holder in terms of local authorities and rural development, did all the necessary consultations, and that we came up with the guidelines. The Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Justice, as directed by His Excellency the President, have done the same. As of Friday last week, they approved everything, and that yesterday, they sat with donor partners as well to look at them, and an agreement has been reached. We are finalizing, polishing them. That's why I'm saying after tomorrow, so that then we can make a presentation to this Honorable House in as far as the guidelines are concerned. Allow me, First Deputy Speaker, to mention that I am Minister of Local Government today. As and when it displeases the President for me to be Cabinet Minister, I will remain a Member of Parliament. As such, I am more interested with CDF than others think. These ministerial positions are here today, there tomorrow. As such, I am more interested than you know. As such, I can confirm that the interests of members of Parliament have fully been included in line with the laws that governs this particular country. We will not, and I can confirm as well, I can confirm, therefore, First Deputy Speaker, that when the Minister do provide me an opportunity when we're ready, these are guidelines that will assist all of us, and that at that appropriate time, we shall make them available to the whole House. I thank you, First Deputy Speaker.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister responsible for local government, for the information you provided. Honorable Whip, MCP, why are you standing?
Second Deputy Speaker, I would utilize the window of a point of order because I am told there is no debate on the submission by the Honourable Minister.
Are you trying to comment on what the Honourable Minister responsible for local government has provided, or something else?
On a point of order. Deputy Speaker,
Maybe before you start, Honorable Whip, the extension of the time was to allow the Honorable Member to finish his presentation and allow the Honorable Minister responsible for local government to comment on the CDF. That's all. That is why I'm asking.
but something might have gone out of order in the process.
Okay. Okay, Honorable. I give you the floor as long as you are not bringing anything regarding to...
It's a point of order. Is it in order, Madam Second Deputy Speaker, that undertakings could be made in the House that assure the House that every legal requirement would be taken care of in the implementation of guidelines without touching on a court ruling that did take out the very element which is MPs that we're trying to bring in by way of regulations.
Very true.
Because if there is a ruling from the court, and we are talking of regulations, are the guidelines going to override the ruling of the court, which takes away the MP completely? Is it in order for the Honorable Minister to give an undertaking on guidelines without making mention of the court ruling that is in place? Madam Speaker, I submit.
Honorable members, Honorable Whip MCP, according to the Honorable Minister responsible for local government, he will bring the guidelines. So we cannot start questioning the guidelines. So whether the issue to do with court ruling will be there or not, but because the guidelines are not here, let us wait for the guidelines and we start questioning. That will be my ruling, honorable opposition.
Point of order.
Thank you so much.
Point of order.
Leader of the House.
Madam,
Honorable members, we do not have time. We are already past 17 hours. Honorable member for the, thank you so much. I know the issue of CDF. Honorable member for Lilongwe, everybody knows how important CDF is. But we do not have time to discuss about these issues today. So can I, honorable member, can you please resume your seat? Thank you. Thank you. Honorable leader of the House, you have the floor.
Madam Second Deputy Speaker, first of all is to thank you for managing the House this afternoon. And tomorrow, as is always the case, we'll start with question time. And thereafter, we'll move to private members' business. If time permits, we will continue with debating the SONA. So that's how we're going to move tomorrow. Have a good evening, Madam Second Deputy Speaker.
Thank you so much, Leader of the House. Honorable members, I've got two announcements to make. The first one is that the Honorable Member for Mulanje West would like to remind Honorable Catholic MPs that today is Ash Wednesday, Holy Mass after 5 p.m. in the members' lounge. The second announcement, honorable members, is to remind honorable members that tomorrow the Speaker of the Republic of the Gambian Parliament will address this House at exactly 9:30 a.m. Exactly 9:30 a.m. Honorable members, I now adjourn the House to Thursday, 19th February 2026 at 9:30 a.m. House adjourned.